Hi, I'm Lauren, and I first realised I wasn't like other girls when I was about 8. I was racing Christian, the boy from next door, home from school when I tripped and landed awkwardly on my arm. Christian helped me up and asked if I was in any pain. What's pain? He looked at me strangely and said,
You know, that feeling you get when you hurt yourself.
I'm tough. I never feel anything. You're lying, he said. What if I punched you in the face? I'll kick you, I told him. I mean, there might have been something wrong with my arm, but there definitely wasn't anything wrong with my brain. Still, it was days before my parents noticed that I wasn't using my hand properly and took me to the doctors. Turns out I'd dislocated my wrist, but the x-rays also showed multiple old fractures, which had gone unnoticed and hadn't healed properly. That's when the investigations began. I was poked and prodded by different doctors until it was official. I was different, but being labelled only made growing up hard. While my friends ran around carefree, I sat on the sidelines and watched, feeling like an outcast. My teenage years were the hardest. While other girls were dating and getting boyfriends, I avoided boys. I was embarrassed. I didn't want them finding out my secret. I wore jeans and long skirts to hide the scars, burns, and bruises that covered my arms and legs. I had no idea where most of them had even come from. It was frustrating. So sometimes, when I was alone in my room after school, I would explore my body. I'd gently run a pencil up and down my arms,
Or press the bottom of Dad's drill against my thighs.
I didn't understand how I could feel those light touches and vibrations, but nothing harder. I needed answers. Then I met Jacob. We clicked straight away, and little by little, I let my guard down. Like most people, he had a tough time believing me when I revealed I was a freak.
So I told him to pull my hair and see for himself.
He hesitantly gave my ponytail a little tug. Pull harder, I demanded, until he finally did it and dragged me across the room like a caveman. I burst out laughing. The look of disbelief on his face was priceless. When things between us got more serious, we talked about having kids and went to see specialists.
Tests revealed that gene mutations are responsible for my congenital insensitivity to pain.
There's no cure, but scientists are hoping to develop drugs which mimic my condition to provide relief for people with chronic pain.
Sometimes I wish they could make me feel pain.
It would be nice to have a warning when something is wrong with my body.
When I had my first child, I didn't even know I was in labour until my waters broke.
I didn't feel anything during childbirth either. It was quite enjoyable, actually. Luckily, Jacob doesn't carry the gene mutations, so neither of our daughters are affected.
Still, my poor family has put up with so much stress over the years because of my condition and ongoing joint problems.
At one point, I even stopped kissing Jacob. It wasn't fair to expect him to taste blood, just because I kept biting the inside of my cheek.
So I honestly didn't blame him when he left me after I recovered from my knee surgery last year. I'll never forget the way he tearily kissed me goodbye and walked out of the front door.
The instant the door closed behind him, I knew that what I was feeling for the first time was true pain. Jacob needed time for himself and only left me briefly. But I'm so grateful, because that was enough to finally make me realise that maybe I'm not so different after all.